Some important concepts under remedial law excluding Rule 6 to Rule 35 and evidence. Doctrine of non-interference or judicial stability. No court can interfere by injunction with the judgments or orders of another court of concurrent jurisdiction. A court that acquires jurisdiction over the case, to the exclusion of all other coordinate courts. Principle of hierarchy of courts. This principle requires that recourse must first be made to the lower-ranked court exercising concurrent jurisdiction with a higher court. What are the grounds wherein the court may dismiss a case? Motu propio, a lack of jurisdiction, b. res judicata, c. litis pendentia, d. prescription, e. failure of the plaintiff to appear on the date of the presentation of his evidence in chief for a reasonable period of time, f. failure of the plaintiff to prosecute his action for an unreasonable length of time, g. failure of the plaintiff to comply with an order of the court, and h. rules on summary procedure. There is a splitting of a single cause of action when two or more suits are instituted on the basis of the same cause of action, in which case the filing of one or a judgment upon the merits in any one is available as a ground for the dismissal of the others. The requisites for proper joinder of causes of action. The party joining the causes of action shall comply with the rules on joinder of parties. b. The joinder shall not include special civil actions or actions governed by special rules. c. Where the causes of action are between the same parties but pertain to different venues or jurisdictions, the joinder may be allowed in the regional trial court provided one of the causes of action falls within the jurisdiction of said court and the venue lies therein, and d. Where the claims in all the causes action are principally for recovery of money, the aggregate amount claimed shall be the test of jurisdiction. What is forum shopping? The act of a litigant who repetitively availed of several judicial remedies in different courts, simultaneously or successively, all substantially founded on the same transactions and the same essential facts and circumstances, and all raising substantially the same issues, either pending in or already resolved adversely by some other court, to increase his chances of obtaining a favorable decision if not in one court, then in another. Requisites for the issuance of preliminary injunction. The applicant must have a clear and unmistakable right to be protected, i.e., a right in se. b. There is a material and substantial invasion of such right. c. There is an urgent need for the writ to prevent irreparable injury to the applicant, and d. No other ordinary, speedy, and adequate remedy exists to prevent the infliction of irreparable injury. Requisites to stay the immediate execution of a judgment in an ejectment case. a. Perfecting an appeal. b. Filing a supersedious bond, and c. Periodic deposit of the rental or reasonable compensation for the use and occupancy of the property during the pendency of the appeal. The writ of continuing mandamus is a writ issued by a court in an environmental case directing any agency or instrumentality of the government or officer thereof to perform an act or series of acts decreed by final judgment which shall remain effective until the judgment is fully satisfied. What are the cases cognizable by the Sandiganbayan? A. Violations of Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Acts. b. The Law on Ill-Gotten Wealth. c. Bribery. d. PCGG cases. e. Estafa. f. Falsification. What are the cases cognizable by the RTC regardless of the imposable penalty? A. Violations of the Omnibus Election Code. b. Libel or written defamation. c. Violations of intellectual property law. d. Anti-money laundering law. e. Dangerous Drugs Act. f. Cybercrime Prevention Law of 2012. Bench warrant. It is a writ issued directly by a judge to a law enforcement officer, especially for the arrest of a person who has been held in contempt, has disobeyed a subpoena, or has to appear for a hearing or trial. What is a prejudicial question? It is one that arises in a case the resolution of which is a logical antecedent of the issue involved therein, and the cognizance of which pertains to another tribunal. It is a question based on a fact distinct and separate from the crime but so intimately connected with it that it determines the guilt or innocence of the accused, and for it to suspend the criminal action, it must appear not only that said case involves facts intimately related to those upon which the criminal prosecution would be based but also that in the resolution of the issue or issues raised in the civil case, the guilt or innocence of the accused would necessarily be determined. What is the variance doctrine? When there is variance between the offense charged and the offense proved, and the offense charged is included in or necessarily includes the offense proved, the accused shall be convicted of the offense proved which is included in the offense charged, or the offense charged which is included in the offense proved.